Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Hello and welcome back to Big Mouth, and you can keep this or any other conversation I ignite going over on my Twitter at Movies TV Mad. So come on, Doctor Who fans, and on my Vero at Big Mouth 1, and the extension to this channel kind of is my Instagram, Big Mouth 11289, if I recollect correctly. And if not, arrest me. Put the cuffs on. Welcome to this week's Doctor Who show. It's been a while. I've been over in the UK where it was very limiting for me to be able to do videos, but I'm back. I have seen 3 episodes of season 12 of Doctor Who, but I want to talk about something else as well as my kind of reactions to the first 3 episodes, which you pretty much know already because I've reacted here on my channel to all 3 episodes, which you can check on my YouTube playlist or whatever you call it. You know, you don't need exact descriptions from me. You know how to work YouTube. Right, so this video is why I think Bradley Walsh should have been cast as the Doctor, as the 13th Doctor. Look, I look at Bradley, and I look at Bradley as Graham, and the feedback I get from all my subscribers, my followers on Twitter, and my other, social media platforms is that Graham is their favourite character. They find him relatable. They find him funny. They liked his story in season 11. The truth of the matter is, the reason why everyone loves Graham is not because he's a man, not because he's white, because he's Bradley Walsh. Bradley's playing Bradley. Now, that's not me saying he's not a very good actor, by the way, because we saw him playing a detective, a show that Chris Chibnall was involved with. Now, Bradley Walsh is a guy with a very interesting history in terms of his career. He started off as a comedian, and then he surprised us all by doing a turn for quite a few years on Coronation Street. His performance was astronomical. When he played the detective as well, he was playing an absolutely different character to himself, and he was amazing. But as Graham, he's pretty much playing Bradley Walsh, travelling in time and space with the Doctor and a couple of kids, a couple of teens, right, or 20-somethings, or whatever, Ryan and Yaz's ages are. Now, Bradley Walsh has spoken about this and said he would never want to play the Doctor. I don't believe him. I've spoken about those comments before. I think that's him protecting Jodie. And obviously, in episode 1 of season 12, when Stephen Fry's character mistook Bradley for the Doctor, I found this hilarious. Now, of course, this was Chris Chibnall doing some virtue signalling, saying, how dare you assume the Doctor's still a man? But it's funny for me because I think that most of us would have absolutely loved Bradley Walsh as the Doctor. Now, I'm not saying a woman shouldn't have been cast or never be cast as the Doctor. That's not my point. As you all know, I believe that Jodie was miscast. I think she was cast because she had a history with Chris Chibnall. He wanted a certain type of Doctor, and she presents that Doctor. It's whether that works. Does she work as the Doctor? I think the truth of the matter is, and no matter how much I like Jodie Whittaker as a person. I like her as an artist. I truly do. And it's nothing really to do with that. She just hasn't got the screen presence to run a show. This is a show lead. This is the Doctor. This is Doctor Who. It's not the same as playing, a grieving mother in Broadchurch. She did a great job. And that was a really interesting character. And she was brilliant as that character. I just don't think Jodie was right to play the Doctor. I do believe there are multiple female artists out there who could have even played the best Doctor ever. I just think Jodie would have made a great companion because she's a really good artist. She's a really good actor. That's not the question here. You see, to play the Doctor, it's not just about being a good actor. Peter Capaldi wasn't a great Doctor because purely on his acting talent, or David Tennant, or Matt Smith, or Bill Hartnell, or Peter Davison. They didn't only put great performance into their Doctors and their characters, they put their own personalities. And that is Bradley Walsh. The greatest actors to play the Doctor were successful because of, probably 45-50% acting talent but putting their personalities in the role. And unfortunately, Jodie just doesn't have the personality to play this character. That I'm not putting her down. I genuinely am not. I like her. She's a great person. But the point is, she was just wrong. Now, I think it's several years down the road when she's moved on from Doctor Who and she's been successful in her career and playing another role, multiple roles in different dramas or whatever she's going to do, maybe even movies. Doctor Who should give her a bigger platform. It certainly worked out for Matt Smith a little bit, but at the end of the day, we've seen Peter Capaldi in Paddington as well. So, and that was always great, wasn't it? Great movie. But at the end of the day, my reasoning for Bradley Walsh and why Chibnall should have just cast him as the Doctor. Look, the problem is here, he wanted to cast the female, but he was rather lazy in what he did. He just went, Now, a lot of people tell me that Jodie wasn't his first choice. Now, interestingly enough, what females were asked and rejected the role. Also, rumours that said females that were offered the role believed they didn't want to be this groundbreak. They didn't want the heat of being hated for being the first female Doctor. I don't hate Jodie Whittaker for being the first female Doctor. I just don't feel she's right for the role. I think she's a lot better this year, and I'm starting to see her as the Doctor a little bit. So she's doing her job properly and the scripts are much improved. I've actually enjoyed the first 3 episodes. A lot of people were ultrally critical of episode 3. I thought it was a solid, good, standalone episode. I like the commentary on global warming. I am not triggered by that. This is not commentary saying men are bad. This is a commentary on something that's destroying our planet. Something we're helping to destroy our planet. And we need to change. And shows like Doctor Who, need to be making commentary on this. Now, whether you think the commentary was handled badly, I personally don't think it was. I think they did okay. It wasn't the best commentary on global warming on a TV show or on a film before, but I think it did what it wanted to do. As I say, not the greatest episode ever, but not the cluster fuck that everyone's saying it was either. But as I said in my reaction to Orphan 55, unfortunately, people are running with an agenda, and they're never going to like Chris Chibnall running this show. They're never going to like Jodie Whittaker, mainly because she's a woman. I can see that now. Now, last year, my criticisms were genuine, and they were genuine from my point of view, and her being a female genuinely had nothing to do with it. I mean, we are part of an industry now that is replacing male characters with female characters. It's replacing, white characters with people of colour. That's what they're doing. Instead of giving, people of colour and women brand new roles to play alongside these legendary characters, they want to replace men. And this is why there's a rebellion going on. This is how the fandom menace got started. This is the fight. We've seen a lot of shows and movies fall by the wayside with what they're trying to do. Now, as I say, having a female Doctor isn't a biggie to me, but you've got to cast the right female. And I just think Bradley Walsh as the Doctor, with a good writer, a good showrunner, would have been amazing. Now, the other question is, would it have mattered who was cast as the Doctor if Chris Chibnall's going to keep on doing what he did in season 11? Now, I don't know. Actors are like goals in a football game. Goals change football matches, right? And different people playing different roles change your perspective on the character you're developing. To be a good showrunner, especially of Doctor Who, you've got to obviously be a great storyteller, which I believe Chris Chibnall is to a point. But you've got to have that balance of being able to be a leader and, run a whole television show, and that's not an easy thing. And I think the only one who ever perfected that balancing act was, of course, Russell T Davies. I don't think Moffat succeeded in that consistently. He did have some really good episodes. I thought season 5 was amazing, but consistently I feel that he failed. And it's interesting, watching episode 1 of Dracula, which him and Mark Gatiss wrote, it just shows me that Moffat is never going to evolve, or Gatiss, as storytellers. Because it's been a while since we've had them on Doctor Who, we kind of think, well, should we have kept them? Would we have been in this situation if we kept them? Then you just look at what they did. I mean, Dracula's kind of good. I kind of enjoyed it. A lot of money's been put into it. It's good. I think Dracula is just too humorous. I mean, he's very, very similar to the Jekyll TV show, with what they did, which was really good. But I think they've made him too humorous in Dracula. And I think, Dracula should be someone you fear. Definitely an interesting drama. I like it, but I think maybe a bit too funny. And of course, the female representation is a lot. So what they're trying to pretend is that this is a male-led TV show, but actually it's a place where you got the lead character is actually a woman. Let's be honest about it. It's maybe I'll do a video and talk about Dracula, because I'm getting off the point here, aren't I? This is the Doctor Who show. I just think that Bradley Walsh would have been a great choice and would have allowed Chibnall to do what he wanted to do a lot more. It would have kept the BBC off his back, because season 11 was very problematic for the BBC, and they certainly were very reactive, as we see with the course correcting this season. But is this course correcting? That's another question. With so many rumours out there about what's going to happen with the Timeless Child story arc. Now, people are asking me for my theory. My theory is quite simple. The Timeless Child is the Doctor. If the rumours are to be believed, that the Doctor wasn't born on Gallifrey and they found the Doctor, the Time Lords found the Doctor on another planet and used her for what she could do, aka regeneration, I think that's an interesting story. But then you get to the problematic parts where apparently there's many, many more regenerations of the Doctor. Again, it's fine, but apparently most of them are women, and they may even say that the first Doctor was actually a female. Now, personally, I'm not triggered by this. I'm kind of interested, and I certainly don't want to react to it until I've seen it, but we'll see how we get on with it. Doctor Who fans, as I said yesterday on my reaction for Orphan 55, are very, very territorial. But we will see what happens there. But I absolutely believe that Bradley Walsh would have been an amazing Doctor with his personality, his gifts as an actor. And I just think, that was definitely an opportunity missed. And I think I do feel we've got too many companions, and they can't give all three of them. I mean, I just don't think the writing team on this Doctor Who is got the ability to give them. They haven't really given them very much to do. They don't really have much of a story arc either. Rose had her arc, Amy had her arc, Donna had her arc, Martha had a brilliant arc as well. And I just don't think, with three companions, there just isn't much there. He hasn't done much with them. Of course, this is another problem, but I do think season 12 so far is much improved, and we'll certainly see what happens next. So please like, share and subscribe. Please share the channel, and I'll be back next week with more of the Doctor Who show. And of course, I'll be back either on Monday or Tuesday to react to episode 4 of Doctor Who.